Well, good morning, all. How are y'all? This is Denise from Brazil Farm, and just out here in our cut garden pulling weeds. We have had in April, in March and April. It didn't rain for a month and a half. Well, it has rained for days on end. I know one day we got over 5 inches, and it's been like that for about 2 weeks that we have gotten a lot of rain. I did a video just the other day about how just keep building your mulch. Just use your grass clippings and keep building your soil up. And then I walked on it yesterday and was slipping and sliding because it was so very saturated. We're in Florida, and so we're very sandy soil, and so the water typically, even with tons of rain, typically it just soaks in because it's sand. Well, this is so saturated that we have puddles. And puddles, like I think it rained yesterday afternoon for about an hour, and we probably got an inch or two in that. I mean, it's just poured straight on top of us. And we still have puddles this morning, which is very uncommon because it just typically soaks back up. But I give that little story to let you know that a steady rain feeds a garden, cools the temperature, and gives rest to the worker. But when it comes all at once, it wears everything out. It over floods the plants. It backs up work that needs to be done. It causes destruction. And when you are going for your goals, no matter what your goals are, well, sure, I would love lots of money. I'm not going to lie about that. But I don't want fame. I don't want, I don't want a huge responsibility. Like I'm past the age of wanting to build big teams. I would like to build communities, and I would like to build legacy. But when you are working towards your goals, no matter what they are, if they are just goals to keep a consistent house, that is a huge goal. No matter what your goals are, it's the light rain that does a lot more good than a typhoon that comes through and just pours tons of rain. So your consistency, constantly doing little things. If you've not been on here before, or if you just hadn't heard me say, each morning I wake up, and I typically have the same day planned, but occasionally I have to adjust it because life happens. Excuse me. But each hour I plan my day by the hour, and each hour I do something different. One, life is built on mundane things that you have to do. You have to wash your dishes every day, even if you're putting them in the dishwasher. You have to unload that dishwasher. You have to fold your clothes. You have to go to work. No matter what your work is, you need to be doing something to building your family up. So it's the mundane things that life is built on. And so therefore there are certain things that have to be done. I have to get out here every morning and pull weeds. I do that for 1 hour. 1 hour and 1 hour only. When I came out here a little while ago, and I actually was behind because we've had so much rain, I've had to sort of spend a little bit time doing some other things to get ready to come out here. So I was about 30 minutes behind. Only had in my mind 30 minutes to pull weeds. Well, when I got out here, I almost started crying. I mean, I really did. Just even before I touched anything, I was almost in tears because it looks so bad. So bad. And a lot of flower farms, you're growing flowers and you are working so hard, and they're not visible for people. People are not welcome on their site because it looks so bad, because things want to grow, weeds want to grow, the ground wants to be covered. And some flower farms, you walk in there and you're like, oh my word, because they are not pretty at all. Um, because the people are too busy working to pull weeds, and a lot of times they just till it under, or they wait till the season has slowed and do it then. But sometimes you're working so hard on the important things and stuff that makes you money that you don't have time to pull weeds. Well, mine's right here on the road. It's my calling card. It's my desire to make it, to call people in. So it needs to stay at least not messy, you know. But and there is a little bit of a balance, because I do have this fabric down that I'm eventually going to pull up because it's going to scorch the flowers. So anyway, I came out here. I'm wandering. I came out here to pull weeds and I almost started crying because there was so much work that needs to be done. But when you stay that consistent steadiness and get work done, it is not. I'll come out here tomorrow and I'll start again with the hour, and I'll be able to get a lot of work done just for 1 hour, because that way my body doesn't get physically fatigued. I do something else in a different direction. Like I might sit down and actually plant things, so therefore I'm not bending over. Just do something physically different to not fatigue my body and not fatigue my brain. Because both of those are real. And when you start fatiguing, getting your body fatigued and your mind fatigued, then you just want to end up quitting. You're like, I'm never gonna pull all these weights. Well, no, especially with that attitude you want. And y'all just know that I'm talking to myself so much. But I got it done, and I will continue to get it done and continue to make things look better. When you can achieve 1% more, these mosquitoes, I'm going to have to ask God why he has mosquitoes. But when you can achieve 1% more on whatever your goal is each day, that's huge improvements. That's huge improvements no matter what your goal is. And while I love gardening and this is what I'm doing, the garden is a great example on everything in life. Children need to learn gardening at a very young age so they can focus, so they can see life through growth, through patience. When you put a seed in the ground, you have to wait weeks sometimes for them to come up. Now the sunflower will come up in 2 days. They'll stop popping up out of the ground. But that's not what life's not just full of sunflowers. It's full of things that take time to grow, and you can't go back in there and dig up the seed to see if it's growing. You have to leave it alone. You have to trust the process. And so while these are all analogies, anyway, they are true and they are relatable to any topic that you're talking about. If you're talking about relationships, you're talking about money, if you're talking about growing business, if you're talking about anything, building a house, whatever. It is the consistency and trusting the process and listening to those that went before you. They're not always right, but listen to them. Gain some knowledge, glean from them, from what they say, and so I just want to encourage you today. Don't allow things to back up so much that life comes at you like a typhoon and just comes really hard, because you end up with a lot of weeds. You end up with a messy garden. You end up with a sore back. You end up with your life being on hold because you're having to correct this that happened. And life does happen. Life does happen. But when you're consistent and do things, those life happenings are a lot softer, or a lot more manageable. Or you have confidence that things will get back in order because you are consistent. My dog is eating all of my tomatoes. Ruby, what you doing, girl? I'm gonna turn you around. Let's talk to Ruby. Hey, Ruby girl. Hey, Ruby, what you got? What you got, girl? You got one? Yeah, you got a green tomato at that. Yeah. See those weeds? Oh my gosh. Those, Stop looking. See y'all later.